Hi guys, I have not been live in a while and I wanted to go over some cool research that I found recently and just kind of connecting the dots to what's going on in my wellness practice and with mitochondria and some of the other things, some new studies, just reiteration of how things are happening in my practice and what's that leading to and the back and forth between the energy healing part and the physical mitochondria part. So I just kind of want to go through two things that are kind of really important when it comes to hacking how our mitochondria function. As you guys know, following me over the last couple of years, I've learned a lot and shared a lot. And one of the things that I did was I started bridging the subtle energy forms of energy healing to the physical mitochondria and trying to understand scalar and how that plays into it and what the waves are. And a lot of times I focus just on the energy healing part and then I kind of neglect the physical stuff that you would do also. But I think now, going back and forth, I really need to and want to incorporate them together at the same time. And I think I just marketing wise found that a little bit difficult, but I want to come back to two things that are really important on the physical side and do have a meaning in the quantum world as well. The first is red light. And I am in the process right now of making sure that my thyroid is working efficiently. Why wouldn't it work efficiently? Well, I'm getting older and I've subjected myself to a lot of different environmental things that basically beyond aging have slowed down the ability of my mitochondria to function efficiently on a physical level. And so one of the things that we can do to decrease inflammation and to give the mitochondria more charge is to use red light. Why? Because there's a chromophore on the mitochondria that wants to take in red light and make energy. So why wouldn't I give it more? So one of the things that I have is this tendon light, and I got it on Amazon. Actually, my mom got it for me. Really nice fur. And what I do in the morning, just to make this really easy, is I put the red light right here for about 2 cycles. This goes on and off by itself. So I put it here on one side for a couple minutes, and then I do it here for a couple minutes, and that's kind of what I do to give this area a little bit more red light than just maybe going out in the sun, because I still go out in the sun, which is very, very important to do the right way, because that also helps with your circadian rhythm and your SCN and your time clock, which is basically one of the ways that we get off of why the mitochondria age more than they should or get more heteroplasmy rate than they should. And so I've been doing a lot of research on aging, just because I was just trying to connect the dots with certain things that I was reading. And it all comes back to the mitochondria. Everything does. Even when I'm reading diseases like cancer, I feel after reading the literature and connecting the dots comes back to the inefficiencies in the way that our bodies produce energy and then tell our bodies what to do. Now, it's also related to the fact that our minds think certain thoughts and create vibrations, and those vibrations also tell our cells what to do. So to me, it's a little bit of both. I have not yet found anyone who is talking about both in a way that gives people some kind of plan or idea of how to go about implementing certain things. But that's what I'm doing in my practice. So the other thing, and I've talked to you guys about this before, is something called the CES Ultra. Now, this is a device that is FDA approved for insomnia, anxiety, PTSD, but it also serves as a vagal nerve stimulator. And you can see that I have placed these two pads on the sides of my neck, which is, with the literature that I've read, a way to stimulate the vagus nerve. So why would I want to do that? What does the vagus nerve have anything to do with mitochondria? Well, basically the vagus nerve is a 10th cranial nerve, and it goes from your head all the way down to the bottom of your body. And it connects to all of your systems that are on your autonomic nervous system. What does autonomic mean? It means that involuntary. Okay, so what is the system? The system is the fight or flight system. So when we are in constant stress, that system gets activated, and then our body starts to produce certain chemicals that will decrease our abilities, our body's ability to like blood flow and things like that, where it takes the blood flow and puts it out to our extremities. It also, when we get stressed out, we get more inflamed. And then the information in our head, where the reason why we're getting stressed out is because the way we're thinking. The thinking part is on conscious level, is a whole nother way that we can hack how our bodies work. And I wouldn't call it hacking, but it's something that people just don't learn when they grow up. They don't learn how their thoughts and their feelings contribute to their health or their disease. That's proven science now. And the method that we are going to be using in the workshop on November 15th at the Nautilus Hotel is going to go through the steps and the science behind how anyone can rewire their brain for success in the world and to enable their bodies to be more efficient, effective, start healing, just enjoying life more. I just think that those basic tenets, it's very interesting. They actually are taught in Judaism. And I'm relating a lot of things that I learn all the time in the studies that I read and the physics that are coming out to some of the things that I learned when I was a kid going to Hebrew school. And I thought, oh, why are we doing this? But it turns out we're doing some of those things, or the Bible tells you to do certain things because they're actually really good for your body and your mind and your soul. Those things are fascinating to me when I connect the dots. But now back to the CES Ultra. So like I said, this is an FDA approved device. There are some other ones on the market. I like this one in particular because it is to me, when I did my research, it is cost effective. And you can use it for your whole family. But vagus nerve stimulation, going back to what it does to your body, so it basically kind of reverses age in a way. So it is allowing your body to work more efficiently. And there are new studies that have come out that it is very, very good for your mitochondria. I'm gonna maybe post some of those studies in the comments below, but if you wanna know more about how it works and how fast it works, you can go to my website at bioenergywellnessmiami.com and you can read all about it on the vagus nerve stimulation page. But I can tell you that I started using this probably, well, I was using lots of different ones because originally, even before I got sick, I was very interested in how this type of technology would help my children who had some symptoms of ADD, which is fine. Everyone, I think ADD is great, by the way, if it helps people with their creativity, and it also can be a great way to live your life if you know what's happening in your brain. But in general, probably not so good for kids who are going to school and have to sit. But so anyway, I was researching all this stuff, and I used to actually have one that was really, really, really expensive, and for my kids. And then I started researching more and more, and it turned out that this one that I found, the CES Ultra, is very, very, very similar. Probably they're almost the same. They have the same frequencies and wavelengths and all that stuff like embedded in there. And so that's the one that I choose. And I choose that to help my clients when it comes to what we do in my practice, which is kind of meditation hacking. And we are basically bringing also, not only are we stimulating this vagal nerve, and the studies show that if your vagal nerve is strong, you are considered more well, you have additional wellness capability. But it also brings the brain into the alpha state. And what's the alpha state? Well, the alpha state is a state of relaxation and calmness. And the more that we can train our brain to feel what it feels like to be in that state, the more that we are going to automatically go to that state. I have people that come into to do the work with me and use the BioWell device, and we measure them. So I would never know sometimes when people come in and they talk to me in the beginning, I have no idea how their body's managing energy and stress until we can get in there and we take the images and we see the information. And sometimes I second guess the software because I'm like, what? This person seems fine to me. They're not freaking out. They're not, no, they're not freaking out because their body's just in a constant state of high anxiety and they think that's normal. On the outside, they look normal. On the inside, their body's freaking out. So because they think that that state is normal and that feeling is normal, we have to get them to understand what it feels like to not be in stress. And that's where we use all the devices in the practice, whether it's the vibration bed, the vibroacoustic bed, whether it's doing some Reiki, whether it's doing tuning forks and the CES Ultra, or even doing voice healing. We talk about all of those things and how they can aid and assist very quickly how to get into a parasympathetic mode. Once we're in parasympathetic, our bodies work much better. We are able to tackle things better. Our brain starts to function better. It starts to connect more. We are able to engage more with people. We're able to think better. So all of those things have added benefits to trying to balance that energy that is that is created by the mitochondria and the subtle energy that exists outside of us. So you can look on my page for this. I actually sell this device. I sell it for less than the manufacturer. So if you're interested in knowing more, I sell it and then you can call me and we can set it up together and we can talk about how to use it. So that's something that I've been doing for my clients since I started adding this into the practice. It's also really good for tinnitus. I have a couple clients that have the ringing in their ears and they say that this has been really helpful and it has basically ended that. I also help people with symptoms of Lyme disease. They seem to be able to control those symptoms and basically they are asymptomatic after using this for a couple weeks. Obviously the people with insomnia, this works really well. Depression, anxiety, all of those we call them diseases, but really what it is it's just brain waves that are misfiring, and the vagal nerve is not as strong as it should be to start to maintain that balance with the nerve. So this basically firms all of that up, and it is non-harming. It's not drugs. You can't get addicted to it. It feels really good. It makes me happy. And so that and the red light, which you don't have to just use it for your thyroid. You can use it on other parts of your body for pain. I have other red lights that I have like on a panel and stuff like that I use intermittently. My husband started using this and his testosterone level went up in 3 months from a very low, well, they don't call it low anymore. They call it normal, but it's way below. The normal now is way below what it used to be in, let's say, the 70s and the 80s. And, so now when you go to the doctor and you're over 50 and you have low testosterone, they don't call it low testosterone, they call it normal because everybody has this lower testosterone level. So his testosterone has really gone up from using red light in that area, just a couple minutes a day. And that's been really helpful for him. And so if you guys want to know anything else about this device or red light therapy, please get in touch with me. Thank you so much. And have a great day.